in today's, one of the most important things I think in today's program is taxes. Like, how does the tax aspect work? After you got all this knowledge and all this game, now you got to go pay the government, right? What happens? Like, how do you do it? Is it cryptocurrencies, NFTs, is it all the same or is it different? So, guys, today I want to introduce a speaker that was highly recommended by Raven, Crypto EQ, highly recommended. I spoke with Charles, and very, very smart individual. His name is Charles Kelly, also known as CJ the Smart Guy, is an entrepreneur-focused accountant who loves learning about blockchain and cryptocurrency. CJ played baseball, was NABA NABA president, National Association of Black Accountants, and had 3 internships, one with Apple before graduating from Texas Southern University in 2013. HBCUs are the best. After getting an accounting job using his accounting and finance degrees, he felt a burning desire to work for himself. So he left his job after 3 years. 4 years of additional studying and struggling led him to finally becoming a CPA and touring the country to educate on the evolution of money with cryptocurrency exchange owner Naufa Najah Roberts. Guys, let's give a big round of applause for Charles Kelly.
So first, I'm going to take a page out of Chris's book. I'm going to go ahead and plug myself up real quick. You guys got a... Yeah. Raise your right hand. I think we'll take it right. It's on the table. Look like a mouse. So, my name is Charles J. Kelly. I'm a certified public accountant. I've been in the crypto space since 2016-ish, but didn't really start studying it heavy until 2017. You can find me at CJ the Smart Guy across all platforms: Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Clubhouse, all of them. I'm going to basically put out a little bit what Adam said, a little bit what Evan said, as well as what Chris said, and then bring you to the tax side, because the tax side makes absolutely no sense in the way that the crypto financial system is created. And so one thing that Adam had said was that Bitcoin was created as a way to, basically circumvent banks. The banks in 08 and 09, they created a huge financial crash, and then they were bailed out. They were bailed out, nobody went to jail, but the people who were stealing, at Walmart, they all went to jail, but the people that took everybody's savings and, their houses from them, they're the ones who didn't go to jail. And so me, I was a high schooler, 08, graduated, and I was like, oh, there's no jobs. Everybody said they give good grades, there's no jobs. So I take out student loans, and I got a whole bunch of student loans that I'm still trying to pay on. And it's like, well, wow, I graduated from high school, got a somewhat scholarship, I, played baseball in college, still have to owe money for school, got a job working for Warren Buffett doing his finances, so I'm moving millions of dollars every single day, and I'm still in debt, living not too well. And then they're talking about this thing called inflation, where they're going to give you a 2% raise for merit increase, but then inflation is at 4 or 5%. So even the savings that I got, I'm losing money, and who knows if I'm actually going to get the promotion or not. And so I'm just frustrated with all of this, just like, where am I going to go? And so I said, let me leave my job. They're working like 60, 70 hours a week. I got gray hair at the age of 24, 25. So everybody's with gray hair. I was 24 when I had it. And they just worked me to death, like past 1 in the morning, midnights. And so I was like, well, let me go ahead and do it on my own, study for the CPA. And along the way of studying for the CPA, I saw Bitcoin through a movie called Dope. It's with A$AP Rocky, he's a big rapper. And so I was like, okay, let me check this out. Download the Coinbase app, $25 free. So I was broke because I spent all my money trying to study. And I was like, let me just download this app. And then within like a year, I checked back, and that $25 that I got for just downloading the app turned into over $700. And so I was like, oh, this is great. Sold it all, paid my rent, and I was like, this is a magnificent type of investment. And so I started really studying. And so somebody mentioned intrinsic value earlier. And And so I was looking at it and I was like, well, what's the real value of Bitcoin? And they were like, well, it's based off of the technology, it's based off of being able to send money overseas for a low amount. There's only 21 million scarcity amount. You can't keep printing it out unlike the US dollar or any paper money. And so I was like, well, let me study this some more. And I saw that it had worked. So at that time, like everyone was saying, everybody was trying to make money, and everybody was just trying to put everything in to try to make a big profit. So I actually didn't think that it had that much value to it. And so I created my first YouTube channel video, and I said, hey, I see this thing called Bitcoin, but I don't think it's quite worth Chevron, because if you look at the market cap, how much money is in investment, I just didn't feel like it was worth Chevron at that time. I had a total of 24 views, and I probably still have about 30 views on that video. But it was probably my best video I've ever made, because I said it was going to go up, it was going to come back down, but eventually I feel like the technology is going to play out. And here we are today, it's around 44,000, and we're still very, 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 very early. So all that to be said is, I don't like the banks. I can't stand the banks. They hurt my family. They hurt a lot of my family around me. And so I found this new system. And along the way while I was studying, the banks actually shut down my account as well. Because they said, you only have $250 in here. Even though you've never overdrafted, $250 is not enough. You're out of here. So they left me stranded in another state. And I couldn't get my value because all my value was tied up in the bank. So I don't like third parties. So I saw that cryptocurrency, you cannot just exchange, peer to peer, but you could send it around the world. Bitcoin is king. I'm a big Bitcoin maxi, so he's gone right now. But he was ready to say he likes other cryptocurrencies. I think they all have their use. Personally, I would love to create a cryptocurrency so I can get as much value as I possibly can, so then I can go and buy Bitcoin. No difference. no difference than how people like buy stocks to create US dollars. I would use altcoins to buy more Bitcoin. But I'm a Bitcoin maxi, so if you have anybody who's like XRP or Ethereum is going to take over, they probably have their respective opinions that will differentiate. But that's my opinion. And so then on the tax side, we look at utility. So Bitcoin is massively being accepted as a store of value. There's only 21 million to ever be created. And so as a store of value, that's what most people are looking at. They do have the Lightning Network, which allows you to transfer funds, peer-to-peer relatively quickly. But for the most part, Bitcoin is a store of value. Then you look at like Ethereum or one of these tokens that allows you to deal with this new technology like NFTs and maybe DeFi, things like that. To me, those are like upgrades to like maybe like a Microsoft type of software type of company. I do look at those as companies because proof of stake, which is a type of consensus system, that's the technology, that's not my field. But essentially, I look at those as companies. There's debate whether those are considered securities or not. XRP, Ripple, they're in a big court case of whether or not it is considered security meaning they're basically trying to get funds from the people for their business, and if they're not registered, then what's to really determine their value? And so a lot of people are getting hurt. Like you said, about 98% of these are scams or they'll just fail. But just like with the internet, as of right now, Bitcoin seems to be like the most safest bet. Ethereum probably second. So you have Bitcoin as a store of value. You have Ethereum and different smart contracts which are using the new technology. Then you have like stable coins that he had mentioned, where they're pegged to some type of asset. Most of us look at that asset as the US dollar. So we'll say, okay, well, a USDC coin is worth $1, just like the US dollar is worth $1. But you're allowed to get interest rates of like 10% by circumventing the banks and going through some of these DeFi programs or these internet exchanges such as Celsius or Nexo, but I'm not sponsoring any of them because no keys, no cheese, meaning when it comes to Bitcoin, if you don't own your private keys, you don't actually own your cryptocurrency. So when we talk about like getting having a 401k in it or getting a security or an ETF or something like that, you're taking away the actual utilities of cryptocurrency. You're only getting the value of it. And so, like Adam has said, most people don't actually care about researching any of that stuff. because it's like, well, I don't care, I just want my money to go up. So there will be banks, there will be other people to control the utility side and allow you to take care of the value. But me saying I don't like any third parties, I don't like middlemen, I believe in self-sovereignty, owning my value, just like gold back in the day, except to, do a transaction with somebody overseas. Imagine trying to do a transaction with, somebody in like Europe or something like that. You've got all this gold. How are you going to take it? You're going to, it's oceans. Like you're going to have to mail it or something like that. So with crypto, you can just send it, instantaneous, less than 10 minutes, for a relatively cheap fee. So that's basically the utility of it. It's worldwide. And so when it comes down to marketing, like Chris has said, CJ the Smart Guy is my tag name across the board. And so what I highly recommend everybody doing is creating like an online business or something like that, having their own name, making sure it's trademarked, because now the URLs are changing. Like it's no longer just a .com or .gov. Now you got .cryptos and things of that nature. And so as a tax person, if you have like, so say if you have like CJ the Smart Guy .crypto, which I don't know, so you can't take it. But if you have CJ the Smart Guy .crypto, you can have your own Bitcoin wallet, your own Ethereum wallet, your own XRP wallet. And so anybody around the world can pay me, and it goes into those individual accounts. And I'm able to keep track of all of that. And so that brings me down to the last cryptocurrency type that I believe in, would be the payment systems, which allows you to send money all around the world relatively instantaneously, like XRP or Litecoin or something like that. So you have 4 different types of cryptocurrencies and what they're using, but they're all taxed the exact same. So if you go to Starbucks and you use XRP or use your Crypto.com card or your Uphold card, and you're spending cryptocurrency, every single time you spend it, it's a taxable event, which takes away the incentive to spend it. And so that, to me, makes absolutely no sense. With the store value, it does. So just to give you the background of what's taxed, what's not. If you buy cryptocurrency, it's not taxable. If you hold it, it's not taxable. So that's basically the simplest way to do this thing and not get taxed, is to buy, hold. So if you buy from exchange, hold it. Most of us want to put it to our cold wallet for safe storage, because self-sovereignty is where it's supposed to be at. If you transfer it from one wallet to another self-wallet, that's not taxable. However, you might get a 1099 that says it is taxable, but it's not, because the government, as of right now, they don't really know what they're doing with it. They're just trying. They're trying to implement new laws for 2023 so that these exchanges will have to provide you 1099 framework for your taxes. But as of right now, they don't have it. So if you go to a random CPA or a random tax preparer, they're probably going to just have you paying the maximum amount of tax, way over than what you're supposed to, because right now, the tax code for cryptocurrency is actually favorable. It's just extremely complicated, and it's a nuisance, like beyond reason. Question?
Yeah, so are staking rewards taxable?
Oh, my man, he's in this thing for sure. So as of right now, staking rewards are taxable. However, there is a case in Tennessee, where they're saying that basically, so give you guys background. If you own property and you grow an apple tree from that property, you don't have to pay taxes on that apple tree. If apples grow from the apple tree, you don't have to pay taxes on the apples that grow from that apple tree. However, if you sell the apples, that can be considered income. And then if you sell the property value of that land has gone up because now you got apple trees on it. So in the staking sense, the couple in Tennessee, they said, well, if I give you my property, because crypto is considered property, and I get more property from it, meaning staking rewards, then why am I paying income tax when I receive those staking rewards? Which makes perfect sense to me, since they said that all cryptocurrency is considered property, which I don't think it is, but in the way that the tax form is, like the way the tax is done right now, it is. And so the IRS actually agreed with them, and they said, okay, well, we'll give you back the tax that you paid for receiving that. But then the couple said, well, you're not just going to give us our money back. We're going to need a whole IRS, publication. You're going to have to come out and let us all know. But they haven't come out with that. So as of right now, staking rewards are considered income, but that's probably going to change.
But if you sell the staking rewards, then you have a tax.
Correct.
But it's 100% base, because you didn't pay anything
Correct. The capital gains tax would be based off of everything.
Right, there's no, you didn't, I didn't pay much for it.
Correct. But most people, if you're in the capital gains space, you're paying less than your income. Because income has like a max tax of like 37%. Capital gains is like 20%.
Long term.
Long term.
Long, yeah, correct, long term. Correct.
Short term is 40.
Yes, well, same as income. Yeah.
Yeah, we can talk a little bit about the utility part of it. So, my company receives me internationally $39 for every wire transfer now. So, I would love to use the international exchange capabilities of crypto and very low transactions.
Yeah.
Because tax laws are so undefined with that. Convenient for figuring that out. Talk a little bit about that. I don't want to file 1099 or 1099. It doesn't get paid, the same way what it was some other currency required.
Yeah.
What's that look like?
So I believe the question basically is if you have a business and you're receiving cryptocurrency as payment, how is that taxed? Correct? So so for instance, I accept Bitcoin around the entire world. So I have people in Nigeria who listen to my podcast, and they might want to send me a tip or something, or they might want to buy, services or something like that. So when they send that to me, it might be 0.1 Bitcoin or something, but the U.S. government doesn't care about the 0.1 Bitcoin. They only care about what's the fair market value of the U.S. dollar at that exact moment. So let's just say that that'll be $4,000. Then I will mark it as $4,000. Now, that's the income side. If you hold it and the value of Bitcoin goes up, and then you sell it, exchange it for another crypto, or spend it, then you're creating a capital event as well. And so there's basically two taxes on it because crypto is considered property from a tax side, not a currency. And so a lot of people have this misconception, especially Bitcoiners, that there's no taxes on cryptocurrency or it's untraceable. And that's the furthest thing from the truth because the technology behind cryptocurrency, the blockchain, keeps track of every transaction. And it's not anonymous, it's pseudonymous. I mean, I don't know exactly who owns this wallet, but if the government really wants to find out who owns that wallet, they're going to find it. And as being a CPA, I'm always going to make sure I let you guys know that. There's lots of ways around this, according to some people, but they're going to get caught eventually. I'm sorry?
As a company, I know you have some sort of asset management group in order to use crypto as a currency.
So I would say there's two different ways to go about this. From an organization as a tax person, I think that if you get like your company's name and you get like a .crypto, you can go to like Unstoppable Domains and you can buy domain names, and that's going to give you various wallets. And then all those different wallets that you receive it from, attach that to your business bank account so that it just has that easy flow through.
Yeah, I'm saying actually because I want to take things as cheap as way possible from a instead of $40 per transaction or 10%. But the opposite side of that, what I'm hearing you say is that I need now to pay people to manage all the tax situation.
Yes. I would highly suggest anybody that's in this space have a dedicated tax person, and that's not just me being biased. That's just me understanding the space. As of right now, like 1099s for these exchanges, they haven't been doing them because think about the concept of crypto, right? Say if you buy something from Coinbase, and then you want to buy goods or services from Raven. You want to say, hey, I'm gonna buy a course from Raven on crypto EQ. I want some information. Well, Coinbase doesn't know if you're sending it to your cold wallet versus you spending it on goods and services. Therefore, to save themselves, they're probably just going to call everything a taxable event so that they're in compliance with the U.S. However, you may know that you're sending it to your cold wallet. You may have been gifting it. Those aren't taxable. And so you can't expect any of these exchanges to do what's in your best interest because they have no idea. And they're not in the business of tax. They're in the business of exchanging one crypto for another. So you want to get somebody who's dedicated towards organizing it because in the infrastructure bill, they said that the majority of the infrastructure is going to be built from additional tax enforcement on cryptocurrency. So they're coming after pretty much anybody in this crypto space. If you check that box no on your tax form and you KYC on any of these exchanges, chances are you're going to get audited. So you want to make sure that if you check that box no, go ahead and make an amendment, check the box yes, and things of that nature, because they're coming, they're just waiting for some more funding, which in the Build Back Better, they had $8 billion allocated to the IRS, but it hasn't passed. That's why they're still behind, or tens of millions of tax returns behind, but they are trying to come after this crypto community for sure. I'm sorry?
The individual is responsible for tracking their transaction.
Right.
Yeah,
So
everyone.
how good are any of these tax apps that track all the different, you can tell all the exchanges you're in, all the wallets, and it tracks all the transactions, and gives you a cost basis, or have you seen any of them?
Oh, I've seen plenty of them.
Okay, are they any good?
I don't found one that's good for the overall.
Okay.
There are some that are good for some certain issues. I know you have coin tracker, coin tracking, you have coin with a K. So there are some tax softwares, but even then, they don't know if you spent it
Right.
versus if you gave it, you gave it, donated it. So to some degree, they're good for not having to send your accountant transactions every 3 months or every year. But at the end of the day, it's still going to be a very manual process. They're trying to make it to where transactions less than $200 are not capital gains. They have a bill out, but that has not passed yet. And so right now, the tax code makes absolutely no sense for crypto. But if you spend it, if you exchange it, or you spend it, all those create capital events. And if you earn crypto, then that's considered income at the fair market value.
Let's do this, guys, because like I said, the speakers are still going to be here. You're not going home.
No, I'm good.
They're going to be here, guys. We got still got a lot of time. I just want to be very respectful and mindful of everybody else's time. We still have the sponsor, Crypto EQ, that has to give the speak, and we also have Blake from Sanctuary Dex with the raffle. And so after that, then it's networking time. So you can speak with each speaker and have a good time. So let's, if it's
Charles,
okay,
great.
let's give a round of applause to Charles. Charles ain't going nowhere. He's still here, right? So we have two more just near closing remarks. The first one will be Raven and Sheldon from
Crypto EQ.
Crypto EQ. Guys, Crypto EQ was our sponsor. They're the ones who helped us out with the venue today, the drinks. Every time we're doing anything, Crypto EQ. Oh, also